It's only match day 3 in the Premier League, however we are already being treated to some big games at opposite ends of the table. We've got two title favourites going up against each other at Anfield as Liverpool take on Arsenal, and we've got two favourites for the relegation battle as Manchester United take on Burnley. Welcome to the Tartan Premier League preview and prediction show. Looking forward to discussing all 10 games with you and see what you guys are thinking. But before we look forward, we've got to look backwards and say well done to Mikel. He was a Tartan prediction competition winner from last weekend. However, it was a strong set of results. A lot of people got some impressive predictions last week. A lot of you said Crystal Palace won, Nottingham Forest won. So if you were one of those subscribers, give yourself a pat on the back. But not as big a pat on the back as Mikel should be giving himself, who predicted Brentford 1, Aston Villa 0. He also had Everton to beat Brighton, and those were the two results which made him win, beat everybody. But the Tartan subscribers, you did not let yourself down last weekend. Some impressive predictions. Let's have more of the same, so do get involved in the comments below. We're going to kick it off with the 12:30 game on Saturday, which is Chelsea against Fulham at Stamford Bridge. Now, last season, Fulham picked up the most points from losing positions. They collected 23 points last season from losing positions. This season, 2 games in, they've gone behind in 2 games and came back to get a point in both games. Both games finishing 1-1. So they're picking up where they left off last season. Still trying to work out Chelsea. I thought they were a little bit rusty against Crystal Palace. I think they were good against West Ham, but I think we made them look good. I think it was easy for Chelsea to look good against us. So I'm still reserving judgment on Chelsea at the minute. As for Fulham, I thought it was a bit of a scruffy game against Manchester United, although a draw was a fair result in the end. But they could feel a little bit aggrieved by some of the decisions in that game. Difficult one to call, this one. So I'm going to say Fulham are going to do it for a 3rd game straight. Chelsea 1, Fulham 1. Off to Old Trafford as Manchester United take on Burnley. Now, I've got a statistic here. Oh, I could end up pulling out quite a few. I mean, this is one that makes you go, wow, okay, this is not good at Man U. We know things are not good at Man U. But even then, I still see something that is factual. It's a statistic. Even then, I still go, wow, things are really bad at Man U. Failed to score in the first half of 29 of their last 40 league games, obviously since the start of last season. 29 of 40 games, they haven't scored in the first half. That is horrendous. That is really, really bad. What, you want another one? Okay, they've lost 8 of their last 13 at Old Trafford. Things are not good for Man U. Now, Burnley at home, just Burnley fans, just I promise you, just stick with me for the next minute. Just block out one way to say for the next minute. Burnley at home is a fixture which Amarim should be pleased with. Yes, I know they would prefer to play West Ham, right? Okay, I get it. But apart from West Ham, Burnley would be one of the 5 teams Amarim could have as his next game if he could pick one, right? So this is as kind as it's going to get in the Premier League. Is it kind enough? I'm not so sure. I think Scott Parker, tactically, will be better than Ruben Amorim on Saturday. The advantage Man U have is they have players like Matheus Cunha. They've got Brian Mbeumo. They've got the X Factor. They've got players that can do something on their own regardless of tactics. They're capable of scoring out of nothing. Therefore, they're capable of winning regardless of the guy in the dugout. Parker, however, I don't think has that quality in his team. So he's going to have to get everything right and a little bit more. Ruben Amorim is going to get nothing right, but still could get 3 points in this game. And I think that's the significant difference going into this one. This game should not be difficult to call, but it is. And when that happens, I tend to go down the middle. I'm going to say Manchester United 1, Burnley 1. Keeping the relegation battle alive down at the bottom. Keeping both teams in there. Sunderland, right then, up against Brentford. So I had a little look. Thomas Frank against promoted teams won his last 8. So Brentford have won their last 8 against promoted teams, but it was Thomas Frank. Keith Andrews good win last weekend, won midweek as well. This is good. This is exactly what Keith Andrews need. He got off to a bad start against not against Aston Villa. against Nottingham Forest. Got off to a bad start. Not what you want. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on him already because of the circumstances in which he got the job. There was nothing controversial, just the fact that he was a set-piece coach becoming a head coach. A lot of attention on him. I think a lot of people were waiting for him to fail, expecting him to fail. They still are. So when they lost, to go back-to-back wins, pressure's off a little bit. The pressure's on Ruben Amorim now, Graham Potter. There's other managers under far more pressure than Keith Andrews already. He's only 4 games into his first ever managerial job, and there's other managers far more experienced out there than him under more severe pressure and being judged more than he is right now. So I actually think he's almost weathered the storm a little bit. The noise has died down immediately. That is good. Sunderland, they're going to need a reaction. Losing against Burnley is not good. Got off to a good start, beating West Ham, going to Turf Moor, losing. It's sort of like outdone the good work they've just done. 3 points from those 2 fixtures are good, but it's not wow. Does that make sense? It's about where they should be at this point. This is a tough fixture for both teams. Again, I'm finding this one difficult to call. I promise you, I'm not going to say that for every single fixture. I'm not going to predict draws for every single fixture. West Ham's coming up. I can guarantee you, not predicting a draw. But for this one, I'm going to say Sunderland 2, Brentford 2. However, if I had to hang my hat on a team winning, I'd maybe inclined to go for Brentford. But I've not seen enough of Brentford under Keith Andrews. I watched the game against Forest later on. I've only seen the highlights against Aston Villa. So I find it harsh to really... I don't have a strong enough opinion of Brentford this season yet. So I'm going to say 2-2 at the Stadium of Light. Tottenham against Bournemouth. You got to fancy goals, haven't you? Got to fancy goals. I had a look at Brentford Bournemouth last season because this is where you're going to get an insight into Thomas Frank and how he coped against these teams and these styles of play. And Brentford beat Bournemouth both times. That's quite a lot of goals scored as well. 2-1 and 3-2, the 2 games were. So there's going to be goals in this fixture. And with Frank having beaten them both times with Brentford, and now I think he's already making Spurs look like a steroids version of Brentford almost. I'm finding it hard to see anything other than a Spurs win, unfortunately. Now, Bournemouth have been impressive so far. So I think they'll give a good account of themselves. But I think the Spurs will edge this one. This is the game I'm going to be watching at 3 o'clock on Saturday. I think this is the one I'm going to tune into. I'm going to say Spurs 3, Bournemouth 2. At the Molineux, pressure. Got a bit of relief, didn't they, beating West Ham in the Carabao Cup? But ultimately, if they lose this one, they've played 3, lost 3 in the league. That's not where you want to be as Wolves, especially now, it's come out that Larsson's asked to leave Wolves and he's been told he can't leave this window. You'd imagine he'll knuckle down and get on with it this weekend, but it doesn't mean he wants to be there come Monday night. Whether that's the end of it or there's more to come, I don't know. It's not great set of circumstances to be involved in with your prep. I guess it depends on if Larsson's okay with being told he's not allowed to leave and he's okay with that, or is he going to kick back a bit and say, actually, I do want to go. Please allow this to happen. Wolves have had the least shots across both weeks combined. Now, I've seen both their games, and I think they've been all right. I think they'll be fine, but it does depend on Larsson. They need Larsson, not just for the season, for this game. As for Everton, good away under Moyes. And they were, if you get to Ellen Road, Everton, we had a couple of weeks ago, I think Wolves win this one. But I don't think you will. Jack Grealish has got a couple of assists. As I keep saying, new signings need moments. He's had his. He should have his chest out a little bit. Dibbling's in there as well now. Barry got a run out against Mansfield in the Carabao Cup. So the new signings have been integrated. Difficult one. I'm sorry, everyone. This is my 4th one out of 5. I'm going to say a draw. I'm going to say Wolves 1, Everton 1. I think Moyes is okay with a draw away from home in these types of games. And I don't think it's ideal for Wolves. But I think you've almost just got to avoid defeat this weekend. Wolves cannot get beat this weekend. Leeds against Newcastle. Looking forward to watching this game. Won the last 8 away to promote teams have Newcastle. Now, squad preparation is not ideal. Gordon suspended. Tonali looks like he's going to be injured. Shar, I assume, was a concussion substitution, so he would be unavailable. Yolenton got injured. So Howe's squad is not in great nick going into this one. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them's available. Obviously not Anthony Gordon, but say Yolenton or Tonali is okay to play in this game. It wouldn't surprise me. But they're still going to have Elanga, Osula, Barnes as their front three. They're still going to have Bruno Guimaraes in midfield, possibly alongside Miley and Ramsey. It's not a bad squad. At the back, they'll have Livramento, Chow, Byrne, and Trippier or Hall. It's still a good first. It's the bench that gets severely weakened by absentees. Saying that, Leeds outclassed by Arsenal, and I think the same thing will happen again. Not scoreline. Maybe just coming up against a really well-organised team. It's not just that Newcastle are a good team. Newcastle are a good team that's hard to beat. And I think that's what's going to be Leeds' problem here. When I seen the fixtures and had Everton at home, I thought, it's not the worst fixture to start with. I didn't realise they had Arsenal away, followed by Newcastle at home. That's 2 difficult fixtures to follow that up with. But they got that win. And I can't speak for Leeds fans, I won't even try, but if you offer them 3 points from 3 games, and those are the fixtures, I wouldn't be surprised if some people were okay with that. I would understand it. I don't think it's a bad points tally for them to have if they lose this weekend. They'll make it difficult for Newcastle, though. I'm going to say Leeds 0, Newcastle 1. Brighton against Manchester City. Now, this is where I'm doing mental gymnastics here, because am I overrating Brighton? Are they just unlucky? Are they playing poorly, but they'll do all right? What's going on with Brighton? I'm 2 games in, I'm suspicious already. They're a team I've always struggled to call. Even last season, I struggled to call Brighton. But their results so far are not good. Just 1 point from 2 games. And the games as well were Fulham at home and away to Everton. It's not the most difficult. Leeds have had a more difficult start than Brighton, and that's not saying anything too. And bear in mind, they've got City coming up next. I don't think that's too controversial. But I'm aware their sort of XG is really high and stuff like that. So it sounds like they're doing okay. Now, Brighton's one of the teams I haven't seen play this season. There's not that many, actually, that I haven't seen play a whole game yet. Brighton, are they the only team? Burnley, I've not seen Burnley play yet. So Burnley and Brighton are the only 2 teams out of 20 I've not seen play an entire 90 minutes yet. So it's hard to judge them. So what do I do when I can't judge them much? Brilliant. I go down the middle. Now, last season, Brighton against Man City, they won 1 and drew 1. So Hurslow's done all right against Pep last season. As for Man City, I thought they were great against Wolves, but very underwhelming against Spurs. It was a real Jekyll and Hyde 2 performances. I thought they looked sort of back to their best against Wolves to some extent. Fast, clinical, moved the ball really well. Players were moving good. Against Spurs, there was none of that. They were just lacking everything. By the way, I was going to say this in the review. I forgot, but I'll say it here. Bernardo Silva looked done. Did anyone else watch that game against Spurs? And when he came on, think he was absolutely stinking that place out. He looked sloppy. He looked slow. When he lost the ball, he didn't even run back. He couldn't run back. He was just jogging around. It was tough to watch. I thought Silva looked finished against Spurs. That was like a wow. Like, that performance was so bad. It was woo, woo, woo. Alarm bells going. That's not an alarm bell, is it? It's just an alarm. Why is it called alarm bells? Might Google it. Is it still a bell even though it whoops? It's a siren, right? Don't know, Gio. This is a Premier League preview and prediction show. This has got nothing to do with audio. Just rein yourself back in. 2-2. Brighton 2, Man City 2. All right, Nottingham Forest, West Ham. Here we go. Don't worry, I'm not doing a draw on this. I'm not doing a draw for 2 games now. This will be 3. And there's 2 games left. We're making signings, right? That's positive. But they're not. They might be signed in time to play, but they're not going to be integrated in time to play, make a significant difference. So the West Ham I feel like is going to be rocking up against Nottingham Forest is the same West Ham we've seen so far this season, and it's not good. We cannot head the ball defensively to save our lives. Kilman, Todibo, Aguerd, they're not good in the air. Wolves worked it out, stuck 2 big lads on, whipped crosses in and scored. Nottingham Forest, very good in the air from open play with Chris Wood, very good in the air from set pieces with Milankovic. Yeah, not really fancying this one if I'm honest with you. Forester, everything we are not right now as a football team. Organised, hard-working, a cohesive unit. It's difficult. Pace on the counter-attack. I don't see anything other than a defeat here, unfortunately. Nottingham Forest 3. I'm going to be generous. West Ham 1. Liverpool, Arsenal. I'm looking forward to it. I know it's only 3 games in. It does matter, but it sort of doesn't matter, does it? Neither of these managers are going to be saying to the players before the match, it's only 3 games, don't worry about it. This is an important game, and both these managers and both of these sets of players and both these fan bases know it's a big game. Because Liverpool feel like they're there to be got at. 2 late winners. Scored 7 goals in 2 games, that's great. But they've also conceded 4 goals in 2 games. Not so good. Speaking of stinky footballers, Kanate, crap. Terrible in the first 2 games. Problem. Also, opportunity for any team, really. If you're playing Liverpool anytime soon, target Kanate. He's never been the best, but he's gone from being sort of like dodgy to disaster at the minute. This game, I'm hoping, has goals. I'm hoping it's not a cagey affair. I don't think it will be. I don't think Slot will allow it to be. I think Arteta would be okay with this one being a low tempo, being a bit cagey, trying to win 1-0. I think Arteta would be okay with that approach, especially with it being at Anfield. I don't think Slot will be. I think Slot will want noise. Slot will want a free-flowing attacking game, open game here. And I think that might suit Liverpool more than it would suit Arsenal. So I think we're going to see 2 different styles of football here. And 2 teams trying to play different tempos of football as well. I think this is going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to watching this one. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. Hard to call. Arsenal, not good at Man U, but they were good against Leeds. However, it was easy enough for them. Once they got the first one, it was pretty much cruise control for them. But Arsenal have shown they're vulnerable Liverpool have shown they're vulnerable at the back. And their set pieces, they got it wrong against Newcastle. They were defending high, they defended deep, conceded and defended high again. So they're going to have to be careful with their set pieces because we know what Arsenal are like. They're going to be planting that corners from Declan Rice, over the top of Alisson's head here. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to win it. I don't know why. Well, I do. It's my gut. My gut is saying they're going to win it. They're going to win. They are going to win on Sunday, Gio. Oh, I've not told you who, have I? Liverpool 2, Arsenal 3. I think we could have a bit of a classic on Sunday. I think we're going to see a damn good game. Anyway, tune in on Monday when we discuss the 0-0 from Anfield. What we've got left? Aston Villa, Crystal Palace. We've got a late game. International break, so we've got a late game. Feel sorry for Palace and Villa fans, that's for sure. What a crap kickoff time on a Sunday night. But as a neutral, I'm pleased it's there. It means I can watch it, but it's not very good, is it? Villa, if there's a team that need a rocket up them, apart from West Ham and Wolves, it's them, innit? Come on, what are you doing? Are you going to do anything? Are you going to bring in any players? You're going to start playing good football? You're going to start scoring goals? What's going on? I feel like Villa aren't aware the season started yet. Crystal Palace got the game tonight. They play the away leg of the Conference League qualifier tonight. Got a 1-0 lead from the home leg. I watched it. It was boring as hell, but they got the win. But they're going to have to field quite a serious team tonight to make sure that they do nothing goes wrong. There can be a domino effect, as we know about it at West Ham, as Aston Villa fans know about it plenty. It does take its toll on you. Not always at this point of the season, but I think there will be a bit of an... I'm just checking what score predictions... I write down my score predictions and then I make sure that I stick to them. Then in the middle, you've got my fact per game. That's my preparation I do for this video, so you take it seriously. Villa need a response. They need to win. They have to. They've got 1 point from 2 games. A draw is not good enough for Villa. To have 2 from 3. And the fixtures, whilst they're not the easiest in the world, they're also not the most difficult. You know, Newcastle at home, away to Brentford, then at home to Palace. It's 3 sort of medium fixtures, isn't it? They're not in the top bracket, but they're not in the bottom bracket either. They've got to get 3 points on Sunday, I think. As for Palace, a point would be good for them. As much as Villa aren't great at the minute, it's still a difficult place to go. Emery's made Villa Park a very hard place to go as an opposition team. And I think Villa might just edge this because, and I'm sort of putting my faith in just Emery's Villa turning up rather than this season Aston Villa turning up. I just think the European football might take its toll. Palace will do business, but they haven't done any to speak of yet, and it's not enough. So I think the rotation options for Glasner are limited. So I think he might have to field quite a strong team tonight and then quite a strong team, then his strongest team on Sunday. It's not an ideal situation or preparation. The later kickoff might just favour Palace a little bit, having that extra few hours. But I'm going to say Aston Villa 2, Crystal Palace 1. And I'm also going to say thank you. I'm going to say thank you to you guys for tuning in. And you've made it this far in the video. You must have enjoyed it enough. So please do consider subscribing. It's completely free. And also do drop a like on the video by clicking thumbs up, as it helps out the video and it helps out the channel. But most importantly, get your predictions in underneath. I've written out the fixtures for you in the pinned comments. Just copy it, paste it, give me your predictions. And then when we catch up in a couple of weeks' time ahead of the Premier League after the international break, I'll tell you who the winner is. But well done, Mikhail. You are the winner of match day 2, followed Oliver and Big McNally. They were joint winners of the first one. So we've had 3 winners from 2 weeks. So we'll see who wins at this one. Hopefully I do. I want to win it. Basically, if there's a lot of 1-1s or 2-2s this weekend, I'll probably win my Tartan Geo prediction competition myself. But if not, it'll be one of you guys. Get involved.